Each offseason, countless players switch teams in college sports due to the transfer portal. And today in basketball, the 45-day window is up and it will be closing. The portal opened back on Monday, March 18th, and now will be closing even for graduate transfers, which used to be exempt. However, there still is one big exception, as players do have 30 days to enter if their name if their coach leaves. As of this morning, nearly 2,000 Division I men's players and over 1,300 D1 women's players have entered. But today we just want to focus on the Notre Dame men's team, and for that we bring in South Bend Tribune's beat writer for the team, Tom Noie. Tom, we're still seeing action on the portal right now, aren't we?
5.5 hours left. If you have eligibility, get your name in there, go in the portal, see what they can do.
As I say, still have some time to get your name in there if you haven't done that already. But the big storyline for the Irish this portal season was losing Carey Booth. Tom, what happened in that situation?
Carey Booth, a guy that played a lot as a freshman, but maybe believed he could do more and should do more. So he goes into the portal, winds up at Illinois. Not really a big surprise being around the men's basketball program, that he wanted something more than what Notre Dame could give him.
I was going to say, I mean, it might surprise some Irish fans, though, considering that was considered part of the future plans for that team.
He was the main guy of this recruiting class, but that's what happens. You have to re-recruit your entire roster every year. Guys are going to leave, guys are going to stay. Carey Booth decides, you know what, maybe it might be better someplace other than Notre Dame, so he's at Illinois.
And Notre Dame did bring in a player, though, Matt Alaco from Princeton. Tom, tell me a little bit about what he brings to this team.
Two main things that Matt Alaco brings to Notre Dame next year. Shooting, he's a 50-40-90 guy, 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the free throw line. And he has really good assist-to-turnover ratio numbers. And both those numbers, shooting numbers and assist-to-turnover last year for Notre Dame, awful. So they improved with Matt Alaco, and he's another guy, a grad transfer, moves into a main role, maybe even Carey Booth's role.
I was going to say you have some experience, but those weren't the only names involved in the portal so far. So let's just take a full look at the Irish's moves so far. We have Booth going to Illinois and Alaco coming over from Princeton. Then center Matt Zona is going to Fordham. Meanwhile, point guard Alex Wade has entered his name in the portal, but has not decided on a school yet. Because this deadline is just for players to enter their name, they can still choose which school to go. Tom, what are Notre Dame's biggest needs right now if they're looking for more players?
Right there, experienced big man and a wing that can go get you 15 to 20 points a game. Whether or not they can fill those needs, that remains to be seen. Again, the portal closes in a couple hours, but they can go right up until August in choosing their new school.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, thank you so much for coming on. You can find his work in the South Bend Tribune, and then this change also affects the women's team. Tomorrow we'll have the Tribune's Notre Dame women's writer Anthony Anderson on to break down their roster. One final check on the forecast is coming up after this break.